Hello everyone and welcome to Games, Comics and Crafts. In this video I'll be looking at Savage Sword of Conan issue 1 from Titan Comics. Okay, so this is the first issue of Titan's take on Savage Sword of Conan. Magazine size like the original Marvel one was. So not going to talk too much about the actual story inside this, although it is a pretty decent story. And the cool thing is it does last for a lot of the magazine, so you're getting a lot of Conan in here that you definitely not getting in the individual issues. It's probably like 2 or 3 issues worth of storyline in it. But we'll talk about the kind of like the actual magazine itself. So first of all, price wise, $7 book, which I thought was expensive until I realised that 2000 AD I think is £3.60, and this is roughly size two size of 2000 AD, so that's good. Except this is black and white, whereas 2000 AD is in colour. So I get the impression that the idea that this being black and white is a design choice rather than a necessity, purely because of the fact that it's not a lot of solid blacks in there. It's mostly kind of dark grey. I mean, obviously here we can see there's like a Conan superimposed in the back of the grayscale, and it's it doesn't make it terrible, but I want to say I was a little bit disappointed, purely because of the way stuff is represented in here. So first of all, cool things. We get a introduction by Roy Thomas, one of the original Conan writers, and a really nice picture there as well, which is very, very nice. Which again, that works in black and white. That's cool. And then we get a map of the Hyperborean Age itself, um, which again, a little bit grey. It's kind of washes itself out. It's difficult to see a lot of detail in it. I would have rather seen a newly drawn map in black and white. And the same kind of thing. Okay, that the Billet, whatever her name is, I assume that's her. That's cool. And that does work as a black and white image. The main story itself is good. There's some weird stuff about that just looks strange. I mean, some of the creatures look like they've got like photoshopped like textures on them. But the actual artwork itself is pretty decent. The only problem is, again, it's there's a lot of colour in here. It looks like it's a colour story that has been grayscaled, which kind of like the 2000 AD pages where you get those colours, and it does seem kind of washed out in certain areas. Some of it looks a bit cheap, and again, it's not solid blacks. It's kind of like kind of patchy, dotty blacks thing. And I think that's a pulpy thing they're trying to go for, but it sometimes looks a bit good if you compare it to the original Savage Sword of Conan stuff we see reprinted here from Dark Horse. This is black and white, but look how much easier this is to read when it's purely black and white, and it's designed to be black and white, just like the old 2000 AD strips where they knew that they were doing black and white images. You get grayscale, but these artists do these black and white back in the day. They knew you built up backgrounds with texture, you built up backgrounds with cross hatching and all this kind of stuff, and that's how you got your differential between the colours and the sort of the whites and the darks and the mid tones. Bit of tone there, that works okay. And funny enough, there is a Solomon Kane backup story in this one, which I believe is Patrick Zurcher artwork, unless I'm very much mistaken. Yeah, this is done more in the style of a black and white comic, in that it looks much clearer. The line art is there and it's easy to define, and the tones are there as mid grey tones, and they look to designed mid grey. I just think this is a much easier read than the actual Conan story itself. And yeah, that being said, it's still a damn good story, and yeah. So the artwork itself actually is really good. I just really would love to have seen some of this in colour. I just think it would have been it would have been much nicer in colour. I mean, the thing I think there's a little bit later on we have a advert for, is it after between Conan? There you go. So yes, this is a short story by Jim's Up. So we get a black and white image, grayscale image of the actual cover itself. I mean, and you can tell just how dampered down that image is. Move out the light. There we go. Compared to the original, it's like the brightness should have been turned up a little bit on it just to make it a little bit more differential. And I think the first issue suffers a little bit from the first story suffers a little bit from that. But yeah, all in all, again, I would say, I mean, you can see this is the covers. I mean, that's just a mash of grey. You can't even tell what that is. What is it? It's purely, it should be Conan, but I mean, you don't. Who knows? It's just like, it's weird. This just seems unnecessary. It just seems like they could have done it in a different way, doing things. I believe this is going to be an experiment. This is a 4-issue, 6 issues, something like that. I'm definitely going to be getting all of them because the story is so bloody good. The other problem, of course, being magazine size, it's a bit of a bastard to try and get them to stack with all your other Conan stuff. So that'll probably end up being on the in a bag on the pages on the shelves with the Marvel Titan versions when they eventually arrive 1 year after they were originally proposed. So we'll see if they actually turn up in April, May, like they're supposed to do so. Yeah, it's a good book. In its, I'd say money's worth wise, it's worth it. I'd rather spend $7 on this than a issue 1 of some regular stuff. I think it was much better than all that. But yeah, it's a nice addition to Conan. I just wish they would have got a more black and white friendly version of the artwork for that kind of main story. So we'll see what happens in issue 2. Good thing is also this is all self-contained as well. So issue 2 will be a completely different story with different artists as well. So each one of these issues is going to be, it would appear that they're going to be self-contained. You're not going to need to buy all of them. So if you don't like one artwork, you can probably just move on to the next one and get the next one. But yeah, I open this thing up if you're going to pick this up. If you've got a chance to open it up before you can buy it. If not, hopefully I've shown you a few of the how it actually looks. If this is not your kind of thing, then stick with the colour ones, I'd say, and all waiting to see what happens with these when they're collected and see what happens with them. So anyway, well, that's all for now, I would say, for Conan. Hopefully we've got some more Energon Universe stuff coming up pretty soon. That should be on its way over, and I will hopefully see you then on the next video. Until then, bye bye.